All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to deconstruct something totally wild. We're looking at how a kid from the forgotten streets of Madeira went from literally washing dishes and sweeping roads to becoming a walking global economy. Let's dive deep into the business machinery of Cristiano Ronaldo. Usually when we think about who rules the modern business world, our minds go straight to the big guys, right? We're talking massive multinational corporations like Apple, Amazon, or Microsoft. But what happens when a single human being wields that exact same level of economic power? Honestly, for Cristiano Ronaldo, stepping onto the football pitch is kind of just a side hustle at this point. His true identity? He's a massive, self-sustaining corporate entity. And the sheer scale we're dealing with here is just, it's hard to even wrap your head around. $1 billion. That's a human brand valued at over $1 billion. He isn't just an athlete anymore. He is literally a platform capable of commanding an army of 500 million people with just a single tap on his smartphone. So let's break down exactly how he wields that kind of unprecedented power. Section 1, the walking economy, the $4 billion Shiver. To really see this influence in action, picture this single incredible moment from a June 2021 Euro Cup press conference. Ronaldo sits down, spots 2 bottles of Coca-Cola in front of him, looks visibly annoyed, and just moves them entirely out of the shot. He holds up a bottle of water and says one single word, agua. Well, the financial fallout from that tiny little gesture was absolutely terrifying for corporate sponsors. Within 30 minutes, a century-old global megacorporation saw its stock price plummet by 1.6%. That is $4 billion in market value wiped out, poof, before the press conference even ended. He brought a marketing giant completely to its knees simply because he preferred water. It really proves a fundamental shift. Brands don't validate Ronaldo anymore. Ronaldo validates brands. But the real genius here is how he manages this immense power, especially when you think about the trap he had to actively avoid. The statistics for most athletes are honestly incredibly grim. Nearly 60% of professional footballers go bankrupt within 5 years of retiring. Because, when they stop playing, the money just stops flowing, period. Ronaldo saw this tragic reality super early on, and he built a corporate architecture specifically designed to escape that statistic, landing himself firmly in the 40% of financially stable moguls. Section 2. Architecting the CR7 empire, breaking the bankruptcy trap. All right, so how exactly did he shift from being a highly paid employee of a football club to basically the chairman of his own global supply chain? Well, it happened through 3 very distinct, highly calculated steps. Step 1, reject flat fee endorsements. He figured out early on that just being a paid face on a billboard wasn't going to cut it. Step 2, demand 50-50 joint ventures. He wanted actual ownership in the businesses he promoted. And step 3, decouple income from physical performance. He basically transformed his initials and his jersey number into a luxury aesthetic. That way, even if he gets injured tomorrow and can never play again, the money just never stops flowing. And we actually have these tangible assets at work all over the world. We're not just talking about selling sports gear here. Take the Pestana's CR7 luxury hotels, for example. He partnered with Portugal's largest tourism group, but again, not as a mascot, as a 50-50 joint venture partner. From New York's Times Square all the way to the streets of Marrakesh, these properties are operating around the clock. Add in his self-titled lifestyle brand, CR7 underwear, eyewear, and fragrances, and you get the whole picture. While he's out on the pitch, sweating and playing the game, his hotels and lifestyle products are quietly generating multi-million-dollar revenues every single day. Section 3. The billion-dollar handshake, commercial immortality. Now, this blueprint translated perfectly into the global sportswear industry, where the absolute ultimate badge of success is landing a lifetime contract. Think about this. In the entire history of Nike, a company that literally dominates athletic apparel, only 3 athletes have ever achieved this level of commercial immortality: Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Cristiano Ronaldo. That's the list. And this staggering math of this specific 2016 deal is what really sets him apart. $1 billion. Just let the sheer gravity of that sink in for a second. Even if Ronaldo decides to retire today, pack it up, and go sit on a beach for the rest of his natural life, Nike is going to continuously funnel tens of millions of dollars into his bank account every single year. So you might be wondering, why on earth would a massive corporation agree to those kinds of terms? It's because the CR7 logo holds a literal psychological monopoly over the youth of tomorrow. Nike knows without a doubt that this is an investment that never depreciates. By aligning with him permanently, they're cementing his brand across generations. They're ensuring that long after his playing days are completely over, kids are still going to be rocking his logo. Section 4. conquering the digital landscape, the Saudi Arabia pivot. When Ronaldo made the move to Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, a lot of Western media called it a step down. They were saying it was the twilight of his career. But economically, it was arguably his most ruthless masterstroke yet. I mean, just think about the figure, $200 million. That's the annual salary that instantly made him the absolute highest paid athlete on the face of the earth. No contest. Because he didn't just take a massive paycheck to quietly play out his final years. He single-handedly shifted the entire geopolitical landscape of sports media directly to the Middle East. He essentially became the face of a whole nation's economic transformation. Almost overnight, the entire world was suddenly paying attention to a league they had completely ignored before. Which leads us to a pretty fascinating question. How do you execute the digital heist of the century? Because just when everyone thought he had hit the absolute ceiling of his digital reach, he decided to completely bypass traditional media networks. Instead of relying on sports broadcasters to show his face to the world, he basically said, you know what? I'll just become my own television broadcast. And he literally broke the internet doing it. Just listen to the timeline for the launch of his YouTube channel, Cristiano. 0 minutes, launch. 90 minutes later, 1 million subscribers. 12 hours later, 10 million subscribers. To call this a success is a massive understatement. Other digital creators spend decades trying to crack the YouTube algorithm. Ronaldo conquered the whole thing in a single afternoon. By directly owning his video broadcast, he bypasses the middleman entirely. He is his own TV network, broadcasting straight to a fan base that, honestly, behaves a lot more like a global religion than a standard sports fandom. Section 5. The mindset is the asset, the true foundation. You know, when you're thinking about the fancy cars, the private jets, and this billion-dollar portfolio, it's super easy to forget what actually built this entire empire. The true foundation is an obsessive, borderline terrifying work ethic and an absolute uncompromising demand for excellence. Clever accountants or lucky breaks didn't build this brand. The exact same discipline that kept a teenage Ronaldo out training alone in the pouring rain while his teammates were out partying is the exact same discipline that governs his corporate boardroom meetings today. And that really brings us to our final powerful thought here. You don't just become a player in the market, you become the market itself. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't just change the game of football, he completely rewrote the rules of human branding. He proved that if you build your mind, your body, and your reputation with absolute, uncompromising excellence, you can turn a sports legacy into a self-sustaining global economy. So looking at the blueprint of this incredible empire, it really leaves us with one question. How are you building your own excellence today?